I had a question as well, also, about whether or not these types of experiences are just a fad. But I think I know the answer to that question, and I think it's probably not, because it's like you say, it's our way of entertaining ourselves. It's a type of escapism. It will, I think, even if it doesn't survive in this particular type of format, come through in a different way in the future, perhaps. And to tie it into gaming, as we are a gaming podcast, virtual reality, I think there's real potential for virtual reality to become pretty big in terms of immersive events. And I think it is obviously being used already for different types of events. But do you think if VR doesn't work out for gaming, perhaps this is the way it will go in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think virtual reality is really exciting, and we've got a one of the old PS5, PS4 headsets, and it's so much fun. The only problem I have is that I get motion sick, so it can be really difficult for me to play some games on it because they just make me feel so ill. But I'm hoping that they're going to come up with some solutions for that. But the sort of taster games on it was basically just a shark cage. You go where you go, and you just go all the way down.
I think I've seen that one. It looks horrible. Yeah.
And I was sitting on a chair, and I had to actually put my feet up and sit underneath, sit cross-legged on the chair, because I didn't like the feeling of my feet being at the bottom of this cage, because I didn't know what was going to come. So it is a very immersive experience. I would caveat this though with that. So going back to my experience with Secret Cinema, you know, when we walked out, because they basically set the main area up like the street scenes in the film. So the floor was a grill, and they told everyone, don't wear high heels, don't wear stilettos because you'll fall through. But the floor was a grill, and there was a constant drizzle coming down, and you could bring umbrellas and things, and they had suggested you do. And so there was this constant dampness. They had all these street stalls selling food and selling sort of noodles and the sorts of, you know, that they have in the film. So you have this multi-sensory experience that you don't get from virtual reality yet. So I think that there is still value in experiencing these things in person, and I think made a really good theatre, you know, that there is something really special to going and seeing something on the stage, or somebody actually physical people there. It is different from screen, and especially if you're in a small, you know, a more intimate setting, then you get that multi-sensory experience. So yes, I think VR is absolutely going to be in our gaming future, and I'm very much here for it. If they can sort out motion sickness, you know, until we're all wearing these full body suits with all of the sensory stuff, I think, you know, it's still all going to feel a little removed from us.
Matt, did you have any thoughts?
I'm a little bit pessimistic because bringing it back to capitalism, in the UK at least, it's very likely that the next 5 to 10 years are going to see the disposable income of the vast majority of people decrease, and because the price of things will be going up. I would, if someone bet me that the Conservatives will win the next general election, I would take that bet, because that's the way I think things are going at the moment. So people's wages are going to be suppressed. Prices of everything are going to go up. Things like public services are being privatized. So people are going to get poorer and poorer, I think. And so these kinds of experiences are going to become more and more like a luxury, not just a throwaway thing where you can go, oh, we've everyone put in £15 and we'll go to the Tomb Raider experience or a panic room like that. Yeah, and eventually it'll come back down to people just buying a board game and doing it at home. And this is something that frustrates, I think, a lot, because I work for Deliveroo and they have such a short-term, blinkered idiot approach to their model, because they just want to pay the drivers as little as possible as they can get away with, keep the prices high, and just hoover in as much money as possible now. But if they think like the way I'm thinking, like over the next 10, is for anyone, I want to ask them, do you think for the majority of customers, Deliveroo is a luxury or a necessity? And the answer will be that, like, for 95% of people that use it, it is a luxury. And what's going to happen over the next 10 years if Deliveroo just continue doing this? As people's disposable income shrinks, Deliveroo's customer base is going to shrink as well. They will not make as much money. Whereas what they could do is lobby the government to have a government that ensures that people's disposable income goes up. Then that'd be something. But they're all stuck in this cycle of I want all the money now, and even to their own detriment. So yes, I am pessimistic about that.
Do you? I mean, yes, I absolutely take your point. I think that we are heading, tough times to continue. Tough times ahead, but the continuation of the tough times that we're already experiencing. I do have hopes that the Conservatives will not win the next election, but anything can happen in the next few months. So I think that if you have limited funds, then perhaps an immersive experience might be where you would spend it, for fun, because it is an escape, a total escape from the challenging reality. So that it might be that these kind of events maybe have to lower their costs to stay afloat, but may provide people with an escape from this challenging future that we might be heading into. And I think I'm just being overly balancing out Matt's pessimism with optimistic hope, wishful thinking. But I think I do games being an escape, don't we, from reality, and
we do
about giving us downtime and giving us entertainment and fun, and and I think this is the same thing. Saying that, I think everyone buying board games and playing them at home is also an excellent idea. So big games, and they can provide a lot of very cheap fun. So yeah,
for sure.
You just reminded me to think of another reason why I have to put my disclaimer of I don't want anyone to change anything that they do based on how dismissive I may sound. Because different people, you cannot guess what people care about. So I think about something like an escape room and I think it doesn't really do anything for me. And so I think I'd rather play Hitman and immerse myself in that, and that's my thing. And I have so many varied things that I love and that I care about deeply, and there is never enough time in the day for me to do all of them. But then there are plenty of people for whom the things that I have, like Hitman, might be something like an escape room. They might do an escape room once a week, and that gives them the exact same feeling that I get from playing Hitman. So you can never guess what really resonates with people.
Yeah.
Because that's the gold dust. That's the thing that people might have 2 or 3 things that they get all of that from, and they don't want to do anymore. And that's great. And then someone like me might look at that and go, how can you be happy with so little? And then I go, don't listen to me, because that's just how I feel about those things personally.
Yeah. It's all about perspective, isn't it? Definitely.
And don't shit. No. So, Alex, I wouldn't say you shouldn't go to musicals because I don't like them. Yeah. I'm just going, I don't like them.
And that's how you feel.
Yeah. And if you come to me and say I went to see The Lion King, for example, and it's told me how awesome it was, I am, whenever someone is truly loved something and excited about something and enthusiastic about something, just listening to them talk about it like that, that's enough for me. I love that. I don't need to go and drag you down by going with you. I can just
we're just not going to invite you along.
Yeah. God, yeah. Do me a favour.
I'm going to share an immersive experience I had quite recently. Technically, it was a trip to the theatre, but it was a parody magic show from the creators of the Goes Wrong show. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it was called The Mind Mangler, member of the Tragic Circle, as opposed to magic. And what you had to do when you got in and sat down, you were given a card. You had to write your name on it and a secret, and all of them were put in 2 bowls on either side of the stage. And at some point, you had an idea that the Mind Mangler would pick one of these out and read where the secret was in the audience and kind of read your mind and see where it was. And it turned out that Tom's secret, my other half, got picked and as one of the ones to be read out. And let me tell you, when you're involved in the show itself, it definitely makes it a much more immersive experience. And this one was a particularly embarrassing one as well. It involved, he put it down as our first date, but it was before we were together. He probably won't mind me revealing it since it was revealed to a theatre full of people. But he needed to, let's say, relieve himself on the way to my house in a bush. And so happened to have an accident, which involved me needing to go and buy some shorts from the local Tesco's and bring them back to him in the bush. Wow. Where he then had to bury his underpants and leave them. Yeah, it wasn't quite our first date, but it was like we're not dating, but we are kind of thing. And the Mind Mangler came to us and he said, it's all to do with the first date. Yes, I can see that smile there. Yes, I can see there's something there. Did you shit yourself? And then Tom was like, yes, I did. Yes, I did. But yeah, so that made the night certainly much more immersive than it otherwise would have been. And at the end, it was all summarised on this magic roll of paper that had been inside the chest for the entire duration of the show, hanging up. So we have no idea how they got in there, obviously, and wrote it down. But Tom was branded as First Date Shitter, and that is now a fun nickname for him. So I'm sure he'll enjoy me outing him on our podcast. Yes, that was definitely good.
Should get a tattoo.
Fun. Yes, he should. The other secret that was revealed was someone who snogged an MP on the top of the House of Commons, which their husband apparently knew about, but it wasn't him. So that's exciting as well. But yeah, it was a good show, and I definitely recommend the Mischief Theatre Company to anyone. I think they're just about to go on to Broadway with Peter Pan Goes Wrong, which is another good one of their productions. But yes, I think to round off the episode for today, I'm going to ask you all what your dream immersive experience would be. Matt, do you have an idea of what your dream experience of immersion would be? It's a tough one.
At the moment, Hitman.
Yeah.
I'd like to have Agent 47 has a safe
cool.
has a safe house that's just this beautiful modern architecture, beautiful house in the countryside on a lake, and it's just, I want that. And then underground he's got a bunker with all his weapons and equipment. And I would love to just someone buy me a house and completely copy it from the game. And I would like to. So my kind of immersive things I like to do on my own. That's something that I tend to do, and that's, I could just sit there in the quiet, just sat by the lake, just peace and quiet on my own. That's my idea of the ultimate immersive experience.
Lazy Hitman. Yeah. Excellent. Jem, what about you?
There's missions or anything?
Nah, I'm not big on killing people. I just like how just adept and proficient he is at everything. He can go. There's a mission where anytime you need to go and be a bartender, he can effortlessly do the throwing the thing behind his back and pouring it out. And he has to go and infiltrate somewhere by pretending to be a rock drummer. And of course goes and does it perfectly. And you know that the Japanese fugu fish, the one that's the insanely poisonous one, that only the best chefs can cut it and serve it safely. And of course he can go and effortlessly do that. And that's just, he's my hero. He's one of my heroes.
Very cool.
Oh my god. A Hitman training day where I get to dress up as him and go and learn to do the things that he does.
Well, there you go. I'm sure that exists.
There you go. Yeah.
For me, I think, I'm definitely not a world with zombies. I don't really like being chased, even pretend. I still don't like it now. Not least because I can't run very fast anymore. But yeah. So I think I was just thinking, actually, I think it probably like Neverwhere, like Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere world or something like that.
Yeah.
I have a real thing for the idea of sort of the supernatural worlds just beneath the surface. So Neverwhere, or the sort of Weave world, the Clive Barker Weave world, although without the really scary monsters that are in there. I'd like to, that would be really cool, I think, to like do an immersive Neverwhere experience, or a sort of not too cheesy fantasy world. So like I'm wearing Orin from Neverending Story.
Cool.
So I'm wearing the pendant, and it's not the real one, I'm afraid. So yeah, a Neverending Story world, or a not too cheesy Lord of the Ringsy style world.
Yes.
Fun.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, I think for me, all I can think of right now, if I had to pick one right now, I'd probably go for Professor Layton immersive experience, where I'd get to be like Professor Layton or Luke, like a little apprentice, and just be presented with this cast of characters in this mysterious village, and have to go around and just solve all the puzzles, have all the music, have breaks for tea, mix up different teas, all sorts of stuff. Would be really cool. And I think my dream for society as a whole would be some kind of social prescription for immersive experiences that are going to help people to socialize, combat loneliness and isolation, because immersive experiences more often than not are very social. Also to like boost confidence as well, and then just also for like maybe even relaxation and well-being boosts as well, those types of immersive experiences. If we could get that as like a social prescription, that you can go pop to your doctors and be like, I would like a X experience or a Y experience. That's very science fiction, isn't it? I'm sure that came up in something else.
I'll pay an extra penny on the pound in my tax for that.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool, as long as it doesn't go wrong and if the AI running it don't turn on us and kill us all. That would be great. But yeah, it's definitely, there's a plot for a film in the making there, I reckon. But yeah, that would be my idea, definitely.
What we need is the holodeck from Star Trek.
Yes,
that's
what we
need.
Yes,
that is exactly what we need.
Perfect.
Yeah. Apart from the obvious sexual things that would be done immediately upon it being done. That's a problem. There's also the element of we need to make society immersible for everyone first, because so many people who are excluded from being able to go to these experiences are excluded from so many things in life. So like with disabilities, for example, it's not just in the immersive experiences. They could move the bar by making their experiences more accessible to society in general, and that'd be a start.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we are in an immersive experience, aren't we? That is what the world is. So.
It very much is. Amen. That's our final takeaway for today, I think.
Well, can I show you my picture?
Of course you can, Matt. Yes, I was going to ask if anyone had anything else to say, but yes.
Yeah, I'll just uploading now.
I'd be intrigued to know.
Can you see that? It should have come up on one of the tabs.
Oh, hold on. Let me have a look. In the pictures bit?
It should be underneath, where it's got me, the windows where you can toggle us on and off.
Oh, yes, I see it. Yeah, got it. There we go. Oh well. There's a leg and a bum.
Okay, so this is from the Resident Evil 4. The original one is at the top, and the remake is the one at the bottom.
Oh.
And so you can see, so those who are listening,
yes,
I think her name's Ada. If you Google Ada from Resident Evil comparison, in the original one, there's a shot of her just all legs with a thigh holster straps on, and that is from probably at least 20 years ago. That's how she's portrayed there. And then now, 20 years later in the remake, she's got it's a sort of a mini skirt thing instead of this long leggy dress and thigh high leather boots, and still the holster. So part one is sort of a side point is this progress that they remade it like this, then they just copied it? That's my first question.
It's different, but not necessarily progress, I would say. But it's I don't know.
Because it's not for any other purpose than to.
I mean, it's still doing the same thing. in the sense that the camera is not any higher than her waist in the shot. But
yeah, it's still sexy, and she's got these thigh high boots, doesn't she?
Yeah, which is again just drawing attention to the leg, even if it's not a naked leg.
So yeah, so that I saw this and made me think of the same. So that was one thing that's a discussion for another time. But the main thing was, I remember playing games like when I was really young, and so say Disney's Hercules, for example, the original on PS1. I got so immersed in that. And it was PS1, but it was PS1 visuals and graphics. But I was just as immersed in that as I am in the most cutting-edge games developed now. And I wonder whether... Do we think going back and playing... So if we were to go back and play the original Resident Evil 4... How much does the technology, the standard of technology, impact how immersive something is? So we talked a little bit about VR, and when they fully get that up and running in a serious way, that will be incredibly immersive. But I wonder, does it need to be?
I'd argue,
no, go on, Alex.
I'd argue yes, because you talk about going back and playing something that's, say, on an older era, because we now are used to things being of a certain standard and being like a certain fidelity and things. Going back to something that is older and more dated, comparing it in that way, your brain immediately is like, oh, this thing old, the other thing newer. You know, I don't know if there's like some bias there in terms of, I don't know if it's, what is it called, recency bias, whether we'd just be stuck with that too much to be able to be like, oh no, all the old things, they're not very immersive, unless our entire environment was filled with things from that time period, in which case you're kind of tricking your brain and being like, oh no, this is the time we're in now, so you're going to find it more exciting because everything around you is that time. In the same way as going to somewhere dressed up in the clothes of that time period, it's going to be more believable and more immersive and more exciting because everything is reflecting that. Whereas if you take something out of its context and put it in a different time period, that makes it less immersive. So that's my answer to that question. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's really well explained, Alex. I've not heard of recency bias, but it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, I'm old enough to have played some very old games and to have gone back and tried to replay them, and it's been very difficult to get that same immersive experience. I mean, and also like things like World of Warcraft, that I was 100% living in it. Well, okay, maybe 95% living in it. I've gone back multiple times over the years since, and I do not have the same experience with it. So I think it's not just the technology. It's also to do with your frame of mind at the time, in the same way that songs that I listened to as an angsty teenager still hold real meaning for me, and I don't react quite the same as often. I mean, occasionally a song will come along that really gets me, and I do still really enjoy music, but it doesn't get me in the core like that music did then. And I think it really probably depends. The technology can help you, I think, by shutting out all of the other distractions and to make it immersive in that respect. But how much you engage with it in your soul is going to depend on all sorts of multiple factors, I think.
Just reminded me of Alex. You showed me the controller that Tom turned into an art piece.
Turned into an art piece, yes. After attempting to fit a new cover onto a PS5 controller, turned out you can't just pop it off and pop it back on. You have to like melt part of the inside to like be able to take the front piece off and then reattach it. And in that process, it ended up we needed to apparently solder some things back in place, which was the point where we realized probably broke it, and so need to buy a new controller. So yes, it's I'll see if I can find it somewhere. It's basically a Star Trek front cover, so it's got the yellow and black, kind of like a bumblebee, but not. I will attempt to bring it close to the camera. Sorry, audio listeners, but it's got like the little Star Trek badge on there and the sort of triangle on the touchpad to kind of denote the uniform around the neck as well. But yeah, so now it's on the top of our wardrobe, which is kind of our little display bit in our bedroom, and it's now on display. Yes, so. Yeah, which has been an expensive experiment, but warning out there to anyone thinking of buying cool covers at Comic-Con and things like that, and thinking, oh yeah, it'd be easy, I'll just pop it on and off just like the console itself. You can't do it. It's really hard, and you need specialist tools. So like a hairdryer or a heat gun, and lots of small screwdrivers. So unless you're prepared to put the work in carefully, don't try it.
It made that's hysterical. Putting it up as a piece of art that makes me laugh every time I think about it. There's an interesting topic for another time, because we've been going for quite long, about how technology can help things, can enhance things, but only up to a point. As we're seeing with everything, all media now, especially TV and film, there is the quality of special effects is just going down so much because it's just being oversaturated, and there aren't enough special effects studios to crank out everything. It's become they're just on the rabbit wheel of capitalism now, just trying to be spun as much as possible. And thinking about Star Trek, my favourite Star Treks are still the original series. And every time I go back and watch them, it just feels so timeless somehow. And that for some things, the quality isn't necessarily... Quality and technology aren't always hand in hand.
No.
So yeah, I enjoy the fact that I loved these like 2D games like when I was younger, and I can still love them. And fascinating.
Indeed. I think that just about brings us to a close for today's episode. So unless anyone has anything else to add, I will say thank you very much for listening or watching. If you really enjoyed this episode, please give us a like or a share or a comment. Let us know what you thought. Do you have your own immersive experiences you'd like to share with us? We'd love to hear about them. You can also give us a rating on Spotify, I believe, and we should have new episodes every Thursday. And we've been gaming the system, and that's it for now. Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed that episode of Gaming the System. If you want to support us, you can donate to us through our PayPal by sending it to wearegamingthesystem@gmail.com if you want to send us a one-off donation. If you want to donate to us monthly, you can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/gamingthesystem. Until next time, bye-bye.